So what do you need?
More of your T-spheres.
May I ask why?
I want to get rid of guns.
For use around the world 24/7. You'd need to replicate the T-spheres on a massive scale.
Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into the fascinating legacy of one of DC Comics' most brilliant and underrated heroes, Mr. Terrific. From his Golden Age roots to his modern-day adaptations, and his much-anticipated role in Superman Legacy, we're breaking down his origin, history, and evolution in DC. Mr. Terrific made his first appearance in Spectre Volume 3 number issue 54 back in 1997, and he was created by John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake. Mr. Terrific has a pretty tragic origin after an argument with his wife about religion being pointless. His wife, who was pregnant at the time, has a fatal car accident, blaming himself for her death because he feels his argument with her not only delayed her to the point of having the accident, it's also that their last words weren't necessarily kind, leaving him contemplating suicide. During his grieving, he's confronted by the Spectre, who shows him the Golden Age hero Terry Sloan, the original Mr. Terrific. Seeing their similarities and seeing Sloan's life and how he fought for justice, it inspired Michael to do the same, thus he becomes Mr. Terrific now. Mr. Terrific is a normal human, but if you've asked him what his skill set was, he would simply tell you that he has a natural aptitude for having natural aptitudes. Mr. Terrific is a polymath, not unlike the original Mr. Terrific. In layman's terms, he's a Renaissance man well-versed in a variety of trades and fields. The old saying, "Jack of all trades, master of none," doesn't apply to him. He studies, and he masters it. He can quickly learn complex skills and retain them. He's even been able to learn complicated surgeries simply by reading a book and helping Dr. Midnight. He's kind of like the Taskmaster of the DC universe. The only difference is what he's able to learn quickly isn't just relegated to physical actions. His trademark is the T-Spear, a robotic construct that typically could be seen floating around at any given point. These little spears can do a number of things, ranging from creating holograms and acting as communication devices to hacking computers and discharging energy blasts capable of knocking even Shazam on his ass. Spears can even be used as weapons themselves. It can fly at high speeds and often tend to be used as projectiles. These handy-dandy little spears can even help Mr. Terrific fly by bearing his load weight. The black T on his face isn't just for show either. It's a mask woven with specially designed nanotechnology that has molecularly bonded to his face. It can appear and disappear whenever he wills it. This mask also renders him invisible to all forms of electronic detection, including security systems, synthetics, androids, tracking devices, and even the IMAX. The only exception to this rule is Red Tornado. Yes, is an android, but technically, he's an elemental living inside an android body. So he doesn't really count as mask, and also materialize and dematerialize. Hoult owns superhero threads instantaneously. It also allows him to communicate with his T-Spears as well as communicate with other people. Now earlier I mentioned that he's a polymath while he's also a polyglot. He is fluent in multiple languages, as well as the languages of fictional nations like Conduct and Bealia. How many other languages he's fluent in has yet to be explored, but I can guarantee you his language count is probably in the dozens. Now some of Mr. Terrific's accomplishments and other little interesting tidbits are he is a leader of the Terrific Zone personal superhero team, and he's also a card-carrying member of the Justice League of America, the Justice Society of America, and Batman's Outsiders. The fair play lettering on his leather jacket is a throwback to the original recipe. Mr. Terrific Terry Sloan, an homage to Terry's mentality and legacy, and that he doesn't have to cheat to win. He is often referred to as the third smartest man on the earth. So smart, in fact, he possesses 14 PhDs, 2 of which are in engineering and physics. He also has both doctorates and master's degrees in law, psychology, chemistry, political science, and math. Mr. Terrific is also one of the 3 main superheroes with medical training in the DC universe, the others being Dr. Midnight and Batman. Considered to be one of the top 10 fighters in the DC universe, he holds black belt across 6 different martial arts disciplines. He is also a gold medal winning Olympic decathlete. Mr. Terrific has a friendly rivalry between himself and Batman, since both are considered to be the smartest men on Earth. But Batman has an ace in the hole against Michael Hoult. He owns Hulk's business Cyberware. Speaking of cyberware, Michael Hoult turned himself into a self-made multimillionaire. In Justice Society of America Volume 3, Number 32, he was stabbed to death by All-American Kid, who at the time was possessed by Kid Carnival. For a character in comic books, he has one of the more interesting stances on religion. An avid atheist, he's witnessed the death and rebirth of Hawkman. He's seen the Spectre yet. He has a very strong, borderline vehement lack of faith in any and all religion. He's been quoted as saying the only thing he has faith in is his team. As far as his appearances in animation and TV series, Mr. Terrific has actually made his fair share rounds outside of comic books. He's name dropped by Lois Lane in the Smallville episode Absolute Justice. He's also been on Justice League Unlimited on and off. Later in Season 3, he became more of a series regular after Martian Manhunter deuced out of active duty. He's voiced by Mr. Darnell Michael Beach. He's also appeared on the criminally underrated animated series Justice League Action in the episode The Cube Root, and is hilariously voiced by Hannibal Buress. We get to see a parallel Earth version of Mr. Terrific. Animated film Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, where this iteration of him is Mr. Horrific. Another alternate universe version of Mr. Terrific appears in the DC animated movie Justice League Gods and Monsters. In 2019, he also appeared in another DC animated film, Justice League vs. The Fatal Five. And of course, as many of us may already know, a version of Mr. Terrific existed on the CW TV show Arrow, though this version is named Curtis Holt, as opposed to Michael Hoult, who's played by Echo Kellum. Mr. Terrific that appears on Arrow is every bit as smart and intelligent as the Mr. Terrific of the comics. He's just not as good a fighter and not very sure of himself. He's also appeared in a couple of video games, namely Injustice Gods Among Us as a background character on the Watchtower level, and he's also a playable DLC character in LEGO DC Supervillains. And here's what we know about Mr. Terrific's live-action debut. Gathegi has been cast as the character in Superman Legacy. While Mr. Terrific might not be as well known as some of the other heroes he'll share the screen with, this casting is an exciting development. You may recognize Gathegi from his past superhero role as Darwin in X-Men First Class. To prepare for this role, Gathegi committed to intense workouts to bulk up for the part, signaling just how seriously he's taking this opportunity. Together, these seasoned heroes could already belong to an established superhero team, potentially the Justice Society of America. Mr. Terrific's ties to the Justice Society, along with Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl's involvement, make it even more likely that the DCU is setting up something big with these characters. Whatever the case, Gathegi's Mr. Terrific is sure to be a standout in Superman Legacy. Mr. Terrific's journey from the pages of DC Comics to the big screen is shaping up to be one of the most exciting parts of Superman Legacy. Whether it's his Golden Age origins with Terry Sloan, his modern evolution with Michael Hoult, or Gathegi's portrayal of the character, Mr. Terrific's story has so much to offer fans of all kinds. But now, it's your turn. What are your thoughts on Gathegi's casting? Are you excited to see Mr. Terrific in action? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite superheroes. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.